What's up, guys? Big D Wiz, oldschoolstereo.com. Today we're going to look at something back from 1986. Here we have this September 1986 Stereo Review magazine. We're going to look at the Proton D1200 power amplifier. Check out these crazy measurements they got. If you look at the dynamic power, they got 1800 watts per channel at 2 ohms. That's insane. I've always kind of wanted one of these since I was a kid, so I recently found one at a pretty good deal on eBay. So here I am unboxing it. Luckily, the person who I bought it from packaged it up pretty well, so it survived shipping. So what I did is I took it out of the box, and I noticed the front panel was a little dirty, but that's okay. I pulled that off, and I was able to clean the dust behind it. But once I got it plugged in, I noticed the right channel for the VU meters, the light was out. However, it does appear that both channels do work. That's very important. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you guys how I change out the VU meter lights. So stay tuned and let's check it out. Alright, so here I'm going to give you a walkthrough of what I did to change out my lamps in my D1200. Note, do this at your own risk, however, if you follow my instructions here, you shouldn't have any problems. On the left and right side, there are 6 screws. Take those out. And on the back, there are 3 screws. Remove those. And once you do that, you should be able to take the top panel off. And here it's easiest to lift from the back and slightly pull backwards because the lip of the front is kind of pushed in underneath the front of the panel. So pull that up. Check out the guts of this bad boy. My buddy Vintage Stereo Buff has a real good video explaining a lot of the components and everything. So check his video out. I'll put it in the video description below. He talks about these huge storage capacitors, the output transistors, and a lot more stuff that I'm going to go over today. So check that out. Flip the amplifier over, and on the bottom there's 11 total screws that are holding in this metal cover. So take all those 11 screws out, and you should be able to lift off this metal cover here. Then you can see the massive power transistors here on the bottom. This amp is just a beast. Here on the bottom, holding the front cover on, there are 4 screws, 2 on each side, kind of on the outside. You need to remove these. And there's also 2 screws in the center. Those are flush mounted. You do not need to remove those. I did, and it's something you don't need to do, so I'm just letting you know that you don't need to do that. So once you take these 4 out, you can go ahead and flip the amplifier back over. This will be the right way up, and then what we're going to do is there's only 2 screws now holding in the front panel. They're on the far left and the far right. Go ahead and take those 2 screws out. Then you can gently pull on the front panel, and it should flip forward. You don't have to do this part now, but I do recommend it. Take the 4 screws out on the front glass panel. That way you can take this glass panel off and protect it so it doesn't get scratched or broken when you take the unit, when you take the front panel off. So just take those 4 screws out, be very careful. Then you can gently pull on the front panel, and it should come right out just like this. You can lay it down on the face, and each of the VU meter enclosures has 4 screws. So just remove the 4 Phillips head screws, and then you can lift it up. Now this unit has 2 lamps. I've been told that some of the units have 4 lamps in them. Those are the older bridgeable models, but you can see here there's only 2 in mine. So here's the replacement. These are 8-volt replacements, and I think the ones that are in there are 6.5 volts. They're obviously the incandescent style. So just gently pry to get those out. And you may notice that this seems to be a little smaller than the replacement. So here I'll compare the 2 sizes. You can see the replacement LED model with 3 LEDs is a little bit longer. So here they are side by side. I actually got up my little dial caliper, 24.5 millimeters for the old one and 29.25 for the new one. So you'll find out in a minute that's not a big deal. So we got a 9-volt battery. Just kind of want to see the difference in brightness between the 2. Here's the original one that came out. Obviously this is one of the ones that worked. 3 of them did not. 2 of them, 1 of them did. And here's the LED. Notice how much brighter this is. Oh yeah. I like it the way it's the same color too. This is going to look really good in the amp. So the original fuse holders inside this little enclosure here have tabs at the end. Maybe hard for you to see here, but with the needle nose pliers, I'm going to bend those tabs up. This way it's going to give us the extra space we're going to need to put in those LED lamps that are a little bit longer. You can see here, once I pry those tabs up, then I could fit it in the LED. Now, maybe I should have turned the LED a little bit to the side for reflection, but you'll see here in a minute that it doesn't seem to make that much difference. It still looks good. So do the same thing with the other. Bend the tabs, and we'll go ahead and fit in the other LED lamp. Just snaps right in place. And again, you can adjust it if you'd like to the side or not to reflect off of the side. I didn't do that. But I just need to do this with both units, left and right. Then go ahead and put the screws back in. There's 4 screws that hold each one together. And then we're going to just start the reassembly process and put it back together. Alright, after assembling the LED lamp modules, we'll go ahead and gently put the front panel on. Just lift it up and be real gentle with it. You can feel it work into place. The main thing is getting it over the power button. And the thing that I had an issue with is this wiring harness on the left side. It did kind of get in the way of the module, so I had to lift it up just like the one on the right is. It goes along that metal bar and it gives you a little bit more room to push it back. So then we'll put the 2 screws on the top of the front panel. Go ahead and get those in. And then what I decided to do next is go ahead and put on the glass front panel. This way I don't have to worry about it getting scratched or anything. So go ahead and put the 4 screws in. Be gentle with this. I would not recommend tightening it up very tight at all. Just you'll be able to feel it when you're tightening with your screwdriver, just to the point where it gets firm. You don't want to go too tight and crack this panel. That would not be a good thing. Alright, now very gently flip the unit over again. I found it was very useful to have this soft padding underneath, help protect the amp. So there's 4 screws. Again, there's 2 on either side. They go onto the bottom of the front panel. This helps secure it in place. Go ahead and put those 4 screws in. Now we'll move to the bottom aluminum panel. And again, there are 11 total screws holding this together. I'm not going to show you every single one, but you can just kind of follow my older instruction and see where all those go. Most of them go around the perimeter, but there's 2 that kind of go near the front. Then we're going to flip the unit back over again and just slide on the top panel. Again, it kind of pushes in underneath the lip under the front, and go ahead and put 3 screws on either side. That's 6, 3 for left, 3 for right, and then on the back there's only 3 screws. Get those in and we're very close to trying it out. Alright, we have both units plugged in here. We've got our preamp and we've got the Proton. As you can see, woohoo, we have LEDs. Let's go ahead and put a CD in. We're not going to play any audio for you, but I am going to show you how the meters work. Get in some classic flash dance. Get y'all excited about dancing and stuff. So here we go. Check out the beautiful green LED meters. Yes, sir. Let's watch them dance a little bit. You can check the video description below. I'll give you a link to the place where I bought the LEDs. He actually has different colors. I decided to go with green, kind of match the factory look of the amp, but he has blue and he has white. He has some other colors too. I actually bought some of the blue ones too, but again, I wanted to keep mine green. But you can see it looks very slick, very bright. It looks nice. I'm digging it big time. Alright guys, well that's it for this video. Appreciate you watching. In a future video, I am gonna fix the RCA jacks on the back. This is a known problem with these amps. They're held in simply by the solder. So I'm gonna get some fancier Tiffany style RCAs and replace those, and also do an Amp Dyno test. Now you guys wanna see if this amp can really do the power that it says. So again, this is Big D Wiz, oldschoolstereo.com. Until next time, I'm out of here.